Qatar 2022. Billions watch as Lionel Messi finally lifts the World Cup. It feels like the ultimate global celebration. But this scene hides a statistical impossibility at the heart of the world's game. In its entire 90-plus year history, the final match of the Men's World Cup has been a private party. Not a single team from North America, Africa, Asia, or Oceania has ever played in it. Every finalist has come from just two continents. Out of 211 member nations, the biggest prize in football has only ever been contested by teams from this tiny part of the globe. How is that possible? And after a century of dominance, is the fortress finally starting to crack? Only 3 times has an outsider even reached the semifinals. The first was the USA, way back at the inaugural tournament in 1930. But that tournament had just 13 teams, many invited. It was an interesting footnote, an anomaly. For the next 72 years, the duopoly was absolute. The first real shockwave came in 2002. Co-hosts South Korea, carried by a sea of red-shirted fans, rode a wave of unbelievable national energy to the Final Four. It was a seismic event, but some argued it was a product of home advantage and controversial refereeing. A question mark remained. Then, Qatar 22, Morocco. An arrival so stunning it felt like the script had been torn up. They weren't just hosts, they were giant killers. They beat Belgium, the world's number 2 ranked team. Then they knocked out Spain, then Portugal. This was different. This was an outsider dismantling the elite on neutral ground. So if it's possible, why is it so rare? The answer isn't a conspiracy, it's a system built over a century, and it starts with a simple head start. The game was codified and professionalized in Europe and South America first. They built the leagues, the stadiums, and a culture of winning long before anyone else. Then comes the money. Let's be blunt, modern football is an economic juggernaut, and that power is fiercely concentrated. Combined revenue of Europe's top 5 leagues absolutely dwarfs the rest of the world combined. It's not even a contest. So, put yourself in the shoes of a young star. You're the most talented 17-year-old player in Ghana, or Japan, or Colombia. Where do you have to go to become the best? You go to Europe. It's a talent migration on a global scale. The best players from every continent feed the European club system. This creates a powerful feedback loop. The best players make the leagues richer and more competitive, which in turn attracts even more of the best players. In my opinion, this is the glass ceiling of international football. It means European and top South American players are competing at the highest possible level, week in and week out. Players from other confederations simply don't get that same level of consistent, elite competition. It's an enormous structural advantage. Which brings us back to Morocco. How did they defy this system? By turning it on its head. Most of their key players were products of that same European system, playing for top clubs, but they forged them into a united, tactically brilliant team that played for their flag. They used the master's tools to challenge the master's house, and they came incredibly close to tearing it down. So, is the dominance over? No. The historical and economic structures that created it are still firmly in place. But for the first time in a century, the fortress looks vulnerable. Morocco provided a blueprint, proving that the gap can be closed with talent, tactics, and belief. The old guard still stands firm, but their grip is not as tight as it once was. The World Cup is slowly, finally, starting to truly live up to its name. Nearly a century, the World Cup final has been a private club thanks to a powerful feedback loop of history, money, and talent. But it's not destiny. The breakthroughs from teams like Morocco show that the rest of the world is rising. The old order won't last forever.